Hello everyone, I've got a new team for you today that is Medicham, Registeel and Galarian Stunfisk. I'd like to pretend it was a spicy team. Previous seasons it wouldn't have been spicy at all, but you know, Registeel's kind of rare, that counts, right? No one uses that anymore. Medicham, you won't see too much because it's very expensive, but it is still quite good. It is an interesting choice because it's a fighting type that resists fighting. Now, as you can probably quickly tell, the problem with this team is going to be fire types and fighting types, so having something that counter our fighting is really quite handy. Dealing with fire types, we've got the rock slide and the ground moves on the Galarian Stunfisk, and we've also got psychic as a bit of a side shot for taking out a load of Marowaks, for example. Without further ado, let's get on to some matches. Right, so yes, we are leading the Medicham. We're looking for a fighting lead because we can take those quite nicely. If we don't see one, we look to switch. So first up, Skarmory, and we're just going to throw some moves at it, and we're going to look to try and catch the charge move on the switch, and hope. No, they didn't fall for it. Sometimes people do go for it and drop the sky attack on something that resists it. That's our ideal place to be. Stunfisk versus Stunfisk. They've got a Mud Bomb and a fast charging move. We've got Earthquakes to throw back at them. Earthquake is generally a better choice, but it's slower, so we're taking fast moves and charge moves faster than they are. That's okay though, because we're just going to not shield and let them nibble away at us, and we're going to hope to try and take 2 shields from them here. But we probably won't. It's quite brave to try and go down 2 shields to 0, but there we go. So we took out their Stunfisk, no shields down. They managed to take us out with Skarmory, but we can get the Registeel onto it. And Registeel here is quite a good matchup. It resists the flying damage, and it can hit for neutral with the flash, with the focus blasts. Flash cannon you don't want to use, and there's not really much point baiting. And there's a shifter in the back, so that's okay. We can hit quite hard against that one as well. They can't really afford not to shield, no matter what we throw. But we're going to switch quickly into the Medicham. This will do neutral to us no matter what, because the dark type is cancelled out by the psychic fighting pairing. But we can throw little taps of power punches, and because Shifter is so fragile, it will take a big chunk off them. So we're going to go for another power punch, and we'll get a double boost on us, so that gives us a 50% damage bonus, which means when Skarmory comes out, we can throw just power punches at it and hit for neutral, but with boosted damage. So we're at 50%, and now that's at I think 67%. Anyway, there we go. You can see it tearing it apart. That's normally a bad matchup for us, but you know, with boosting, it really does go the other way. Next up, we have leading into a Victory Bell. Well, I mean, this is everyone's favourite, isn't it? We switch quickly into the Galarian Stunfisk. It does neutral to the grass, and we throw rock slides in return. We're probably not going to win this one, but hopefully we'll be able to get 2 shields off them in the process. They switch to Azumarill, which again is quite a strong matchup. Water does super effective, and we can hit back with the Earthquake though, and hopefully get a shield here. Okay, no shield, but a good chunk of damage, that's fine. More and more Azumarills are running with Ice Beam or Play Rough. Ice Beam does neutral here, so it's a good choice. If we were lucky, they'd have thrown a Play Rough and it wouldn't have hurt, but so it goes. We're going to shield this one because it's another Ice Beam. It would take us out because that way we get to the Earthquake. Hopefully this will get their last shield. And we do. Right, so now they've got a Victory Bell in the back with no shields left, so that's always quite okay. And we get to a Rock Slide just in time with just a bit more chip damage. Doesn't do a lot, but it does some. They win the switch, but that's okay. We've got Medicham to come out again, and we've got no shield, but we can probably take whatever they throw. I'm guessing they had Ice Beam, and that means they've probably got Hydro Pump to go with it. It's a bit of a gamble there. If they had Play Rough, this would have been all over. But we take it down, and out comes the Victory Bell, and into a Psychic. So that's dealt with quite nicely, I think. Super effective there. One shot, goodbye. And Dark type in the back. Again, it's not quite as good as against the normal fighter because Dark does neutral to a fighting Psychic, but we've still got Power Punch, we've still got Counter, and, well, you'll see, this doesn't do a great deal of damage, it does a little bit. Doesn't really matter though, because we've got the Trash Can of Doom in the back, and all we have to do now is get to a Focus Blast and it's a good game. They'll throw us a charge move, incoming Foul Play. It's neutral to steel, does some, but Umbreon's got such a low attack stat that it just doesn't hit very hard at all. It's almost not worth shielding his moves ever. And then we throw a Focus Blast back, and there we go, goodbye. I'm finding this season that in particular people aren't really expecting the Registeel. They don't go quite as hard on the steel counters because Galarian Stunfisk it's still very good, but it's not quite as much of a tank as Registeel. So they switch out to a Hypno and we counter switch to Registeel. There's a chance they've got Fire Punch here, so we've got to be careful. But actually we've got to a charge move, and there we go, Shadow Ball. Okay, so Shadow Ball does neutral. We're going to throw a Flash Cannon in return. The Focus Blast will be resisted, but Flash Cannon does neutral, and we've got same type bonus on there as well. We'll see if we can get to another Flash Cannon in time before I get to another Shadow Ball, and there we go. So it probably means they had one of the weaker punches, maybe an Ice Punch, which is not much good against Registeel. Stunfisk comes out, and we're going to just go for a Focus Blast. It's likely they'll shield this, but that's okay. We'll get a shield, that's always good. And there we go, there's the shield. We're going to go for another one, but they're almost certainly going to be able to take it out with even just a Rock Slide, and so I think it's not worth shielding at this point to let it go down. That way we get the Medicham onto them, and we can hopefully farm them for some energy and just sort of Power Up Punch to get our attack boosted. Nibble our way through them whilst the switch clocks run out, so they can still switch out on us, and they might, but that's okay, because if they do switch, we're going to go into a Psychic and fire a Supercharged Psychic or whatever comes in. And sure enough, they go to an Azumarill, which is going to go straight to the Psychic. Throw that now. It's possible they're expecting an Ice Punch here. Ice Punch is resisted by Azumarill, but Psychic, well, it's not. There we go. Big chunk of health off there, and we go into Stunfisk. We're still taking Super Effective from the water, so this is a good matchup for them. But it would be worse to be taking the Super Effective off the other Stunfisk. So we make the switch. We're just going to go straight for Earthquake here. Maybe try and bait off a shield. Okay, so thrown at us, and it's an Ice Beam. It does neutral, it's inconvenient, but it's not too bad. This is the big difference between Registeel. Ice Beam works against Galarian Stunfisk, it doesn't really work against Registeel. And we're just going to nibble it down and then finish them off with a Rock Slide. There we go, and down they go. So now we did build up a bit of extra energy here. That was deliberate, so we can get to the Earthquake first, because that's really important when you're going head to head in these. Whoever throws the first Earthquake, well, they're likely to shield. There we go, that's a shield, but that's okay, we've got the shield. They're going to take us out with a Rock Slide probably. They'd be daft to waste their energy. And that gives them a bit of an energy lead for the Medicham to come in. But I don't think they're going to be able to do enough. Have they got to an Earthquake yet? They might have done. That does build up energy very quickly. Yes, so there's an incoming Earthquake. We can just about survive that. That's one of the joys of the chunkiness of Medicham. And we get to our Power Up Punch. Doesn't do very much damage, but it doesn't need to. They're on low health. Goodbye. Okay, next up, we'll just play with our volume a little bit. I don't know about you, but I like the audio cues in this. So, Blaziken. This is fairly neutral actually, because we're resisting their damage, but they're able to hit us with neutral damaging moves in return. So, we've taken them down quite hard. Their Blaze Click, as you can see, takes quite a chunk off, and we're going to throw a Power Up Punch now. It's not going to hit them too hard, but hopefully it'll bait a shield off them, which is where we're hoping to be. And if it doesn't, oh okay, so no shield, but it takes them down slightly faster. So we win the lead, and we've got no shields used. Hypno comes up next, we quickly switch out, saving some energy. We bring out the Registeel. So we're counting our confusions, and we've got to a Flash Cannon first, which is good, and there we go. So they shield that one, and they're still confusioning. Right now they're building up, and it looks like they're building up to a Focus Blast. So we're going to call that and go, that's probably okay, it's a Thunder Punch. They were baiting. That's good, we let the bait land. But they have been building up to a Focus Blast, and so it's a bit of a dangerous gamble, but I think they've got enough energy for one quite soon. So I'm going to shield the second one on the assumption that it probably is a Focus Blast. And there we go, there's a Focus Blast, thank you. So, good luck with the shields around there, and we're going to just drop a Focus Blast on the Blastoise that comes in. That's an unusual choice, but it is actually quite a solid one. It does beat Azumarill if you've got Skull Bash. I'm going to bring out Medicham and fail to use the Psychic. That was unfortunate. That would have made quite a difference, I think. Okay, so we shield the incoming Hydro Cannon. Blastoise with Water Gun does still build up quite fast, but it isn't quite as fast on the energy gain as Bubble would be on an Azumarill, but it's still quite quick. Unfortunately, that means we're in a bit of a bad position because they're in a position to farm us down now and build up more hydro cannon, and we've got something that's vulnerable to water in the back. That's bad news. I'm going to have to hope that they don't have enough energy to double hydro cannon us, or we can get to a rock slide first, and we can't. So there's another hydro cannon coming in, and that's going to put us down. That's a shame. I think that might have gone the other way if I managed to get the psychic off on the Medicham, but so it goes. Can't win them all. Right, leading into a Azumarill. This is a bad lead, but the trick with this one is counting the bubbles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and switch. Wait, no, I got stuck, I didn't switch. I was trying to switch, I failed. So the play rough comes and lands, but we counted to 6. We're going to try that again, and try and go for a switch again. And flood the switch again. So I'm pretty disgusted with myself at this point, but you know, we're just going to switch anyway and go into the Registeel, and we're down 2 shields, but our Medicham has loaded on energy. That's not totally terrible, but that was embarrassing, wasn't it? It's a really good trick if you can pull it off, I'll say that. It's quite a clever play. I was trying to be clever, I failed. That's just the way it goes. So this is likely an earthquake because we've got no shields. There's no point in them throwing resisted rock slides at us, and we're just about going to get to another focus blast, so hopefully get that shield off them. Either that or they'll go down. I don't really mind either way, that's all good. Okay, so we get the shield. That's a bit better place to be, but we're still losing this matchup as well, and a rock slide will take us out of this range with no problems at all, and so they shouldn't really use the earthquake. That was a waste of energy. We'll get the Medicham out and throw Power Up Punch. This will be enough to take them out. No, not quite, but it's close. And we get a bit of energy in return, so that's okay too. Azumarill comes out again, and this time we go with a Psychic, as a boosted Psychic is quite potent, and there we go. No, shield comes up, so we're going to try that again, another Psychic. We've got no shields left, and hopefully this will be enough to finish them. There we go, goodbye. So we're now in a much better position. Tropius comes out, we're going to throw a Power Up Punch, probably a waste because it just gave them some energy, but it did take a chip of damage off them, so that's okay. And we're just going to quickly switch to the Galarian Stunfisk and throw rock slides at it when the lag stops. Razor Leaf in the back is a unusually spicy play. Not a lot of people do that, right? But yes, we're just going to rock slide this and take neutral from them and hopefully finish the job. Razor Leaf charges very slowly, so whilst they are getting leaf blades out, I don't think they'll get one to soon enough to finish us. So there we go, next rock slide comes out. Galarian Stunfisk is just so very spammy with its rock moves, and the ground type is also very potent. Its major weakness is flying, which you've got covered, so that's all good. There you go, 5 matches back to back just from this morning, 4 wins. I think the loss I could have switched, but I didn't quite. I hope you enjoyed that, and you have a good day.